Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. You know, Easter is right around the corner, and so I thought that I would take two of our favorite things, holiday crafting and duct tape, and make it into duct tape bunny ears. And I'm going to show you two different versions. One version is made on an actual headband, as you can see, and the other version is made on a duct tape strip so that you can wear it kind of like a crown. So I'm going to show you how to make two different versions at the same time of duct tape bunny ears. Okay, so to make these duct tape bunny ears, you're going to need two colors of duct tape. Now, I'm going to be using white and red, but you could use brown and pink, you could use white and pink, whatever colors you're going to use. I mean, you could make yours tiger or zebra striped, it's up to you. But anyway, you're going to need two different colors of duct tape. I have a template that will hopefully make things nice and easy for you. You don't have to use my template, but if you would like to, you can get it at www.sophie-world.com. That's where you can download this template. You're going to need a piece of parchment paper that is 3 inches by 8 inches, or around that size. It doesn't have to be that perfect size, but you just need one piece. You're going to be using some scissors. I'm definitely going to be using a pipe cleaner. This is important. You just need one pipe cleaner for both ears. So just one pipe cleaner. This is a 12-inch long pipe cleaner because I'm going to cut it into 6-inch lengths. So you just need one 12-inch pipe cleaner. I've got my ruler. Now, I am going to be making two different versions here. One is going to be built on a headband. The other one will be built on its own strip. So I've got a headband here, and you'll need that if you want to make your headband version. I'm going to have a Sharpie pen, and that's just for marking. And then I've already cut some strips of tape over here, which I'll show you in just a second. Alrighty, let's get started. So first thing you're going to want to do is cut out your template for your ear. And I have cut out my 7-inch template. This is to make an 8-inch ear. This is to make a 7-inch ear. I'm going to be making a 7-inch ear. This is just going to be for the inside. You'll see in just a second. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make the ear. And we're going to be doing the ear that is attached to the headband first. So I'm going to do the headband ear first. They're both made in basically the same way. However, they're slightly different on the placement of the trying to get that. There we go. There's slightly different placement on the pipe cleaner. Okay, so I'm going to take two strips of 8-inch long duct tape here. So I've got two 8-inch long strips. What I'm going to do is take my first strip, place it down on my work surface, and then I'm going to take my second strip, and I'm going to overlap a goodly amount here. I'm actually going to overlap about 1/2 inch. I normally don't overlap that much when I make my fabric, but in this case, I am. So there we have it. I've overlapped the entire length there. 1/2 inch. I'm going to pick it up and flip it over. Now, as I said, this is going to be the bunny ear that is going to get attached to the headband. And so for this placement on my pipe cleaner, I'm actually going to place it 1 inch up from the bottom. And I'm going to take a 6-inch piece of pipe cleaner. So I'm just going to measure up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there is 6. I'm going to snip this. Measuring up 1 inch from the bottom. I'm going to place my pipe cleaner right in the middle. And what I kind of do for myself is I use that, see where that tape edge is? I use that tape edge as my guideline. And I've placed it right there, right in the middle, right on top. Now I'm going to take another strip of 8-inch duct tape. Now, can you see how this is the short side and this is the long side? You see how the overlap is here? I want to make sure that I'm overlapping my tape so that it is coming over top of the overlap and seals it in. I want to make sure that this is nice and secure. So I'm taking that 8-inch piece, I lay it down on top, and I just secure that pipe cleaner inside. See how it's right in there? Okay, and now I'm going to take my next strip. Do the same thing. Seal it in. Okay, now I'm going to lay this aside just for a moment because I'm going to make my ear centerpiece. Now, when I make my ear centerpiece, I'm actually going to be making two at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 7-inch strip of red duct tape here, and I'm going to lay it down. Now, sometimes you might need to use your duct tape to seal that down to the parchment. Just make it so that it doesn't roll up on itself. Okay, then I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to take my second piece of red duct tape. Again, remember, this is the inside. I'm going to line it up with the piece that's on the other side. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to be able to cut both of my ears at the same time. I got my template. I lay my template down on top. Now, if you want to, you can trace around your template. That's completely fine. And if you want to do that, you might want to use a dry erase marker because those will wipe right off just in case you miss and you cut inside your line instead of outside your line. But I usually find it pretty easy to hold my template in place while I do this. So I'm just going to cut around my template like that. Now save these bits and snippets because you can make a bits and snippet bracelet out of those. You can find that on my website. Now I can leave that little piece, it's fine, it doesn't matter. I missed a little teeny bit there, so I'm just going to snip it up and around to make that nice and clean. There we go. And now I've got two. So that's going to cover both of my ears. All right, I'm going to pull this one off. Now, remember that pipe cleaner? Remember how we left an inch here? I'm going to take the edge and place it right. You can see that little bulge there. That's where the pipe cleaner starts. I want it right at the edge of where the pipe cleaner starts. And I'm just going to place my ear center right in the center there. And you can see the pipe cleaners go straight down the middle there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim. Now when I trim, I'm going to draw so you guys can see it. When I trim, I'm actually going to trim about ½ an inch outside of my ear. You see this? So I'm using the red center of the ear now as my template. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. Now, again, this is where if you want to draw this to make it easier for yourself, you might want to use a marker that you use on a dry erase board because that'll wipe right off. Now, if you do use a Sharpie, you can use a little bit of rubbing alcohol and that'll get rid of that little black too, if you use a Sharpie. Now, there's my ear, right? What I'm going to do so that I can attach this to the headband is I'm going to snip a slit right in the middle from here right up to that pipe cleaner. See that? Like that. So it's got almost like two little legs. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tiny little bit of tape, just a little strip. I'm going to put a strip here on this side, sticky side facing down, and a strip here, sticky side facing down. Now, I've got my headband. I've already started one side just so I can show you how this works. And what I'm going to do, oops, excuse me, I did it the wrong way. Oh, I always make mistakes. But you know what? The good thing about this stuff is it's easily fixed. What you want to do is put your ears, place them wherever you want them on your headband, then take that little strip and put it on the back side. I'm sorry, I told you the wrong side the first time. Put that on the back side there, like that. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take this strip and you're going to pull it up and wrap it around. Now see how I'm kind of pulling to the angle? I hope my fingers aren't in the way there. Can you see how I'm pulling to the angle there? So it's like it's wrapping to the side. See that? To the side. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and hopefully you guys can see past my big fingers. Okay, pulling it to the side and wrapping that around. So see, now the ear is secured. And so what's great about the pipe cleaner is then that you can form it any way you want to. You can make it jiggy, whatever, however you want. Now, we want to secure this a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is take some tape, just cut this into little strips, and I'm going to wrap it around that headband there, and wrap it around the headband there. Okay, now I want to secure this whole earpiece so that it stays up and is nice and sturdy. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape. I'm going to take about 2-inch piece here. I'm going to rip this in half. I'm going to turn the ear over. This is the part that I want to secure. So what I'm going to do is place that. Now see, it's sticking out. That's okay. Don't worry about that. Place that on either side, and then what I want to do is wrap this around the headband like that. And then I'm just going to use my scissors here, give it a little snip and a little snip here, and pull these around. See that? Pull that around. And now, just to cover this area, I'm just going to take that second part of that tape and just cover that part right there and fold it down and fold it down like that. And there you go. Now, to cover the rest of this, I'm just going to take some tape. It's about 6 inches long. I'm going to rip this down the center. And what I'm going to do is place it on an angle. So see how I've got that on an angle there? Fold that little corner down, and now pull. I'm going to have tension coming. I pull and I wrap, and you see I'm going on an angle here. Pull and wrap, pull and wrap, pull and wrap, pull and wrap, pull and wrap all the way to the bottom. And then when I get to the bottom, I'm just going to take this little strip and finish it off. There we go, like that. And I can do that on the other side too. It's funny how you can see how this tape ripped a little strange. Sometimes they do that. It depends on the brand that you use, but some brands, or it also depends on how it's been stored. Sometimes if you store your duct tape in a place that's rather warm, it acts a little funny later. So there you go. There you can see you have your headband and your ears. Now, I said that I would teach you a different way too. You're going to make exactly the same ear except for the placement of that pipe cleaner. So this is for our second set. And what we're going to do here is, instead of placing the pipe cleaner all the way up, I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to place it all the way at the bottom. So instead of coming up a half an inch, or an inch, I'm going to actually place it all the way at the bottom. Now I did the same thing. The ear is done exactly the same way. So I pull it over, put my next piece on top. The only thing that is different between these two ears is the fact that this one has its pipe cleaner all the way at the bottom. And you'll see why in just a second. Okay, I'm going to trim this and trim the top. And now I'm going to take that red second one, and I'm going to place this all the way at the bottom there where that edge of that pipe cleaner is. And once again, so I'm not going to draw around here because you guys have seen how you do that. I'm just going to trim. See, this is how I normally do it. I don't normally draw it around, but it's always good if you think that you're going to need a little help doing that. Okay, Now, I've got a piece of tape here, a strip of tape. This tape is about 4 inches longer than the distance around my head. I measured this earlier. This is where my head is, from this end to this end, and this is the extra, and that extra bit is very important. So I'm going to take this piece and flip it over, so that now the sticky side faces up. And what I'm going to do is take my ears, I've got 2 now, and what I'm going to do here, this one needs to be snipped. What I'm going to do is take my ears, and you can use your ruler if you want to. I'm going to put these ears on the sticky tape about 3/4 of an inch down. Not all the way down, but about 3/4 of an inch down. And place my second ear. I'm leaving a little bit of space in between, about what you would normally see on a bunny head. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bottom of my tape and I'm going to fold it up so that it goes right to the edge. And what I'm doing is locking those bunny ears in place. Now, this is where it can get a little tricky, and if you've got small hands, you might want to get a second set of hands to help you here. But if you add tension here and here, see how I have tension at this side and tension at this side, you'll be able to make a strap. Now don't worry if there's a little extra here, because we're going to come back and we're going to put another piece of tape over this. And that's going to be very important, not only for sealing any sticky edges, but also for giving strength to our band. Okay, and I did the same thing on the other side there. You saw I put the tension down, tension down. Okay, so now you can see, look, there's my bunny ears. There's my bunny crown. So if I wrap this around and tape it, it's a bunny crown. But I want to make this a little stronger. And so to do that, I'm just going to take a strip of tape. Take a strip of tape. At the same length. I'm going to lay the edge right along the bottom. And I'm going to make sure that I'm in from the bunny ear part. So I'm not going to stick to that. Flip it over and fold this over. Now, not only have I just sealed any stickiness, no more stickiness, but I've also made this stronger so that it can now become a crown as opposed to a floppy strip. It gives me some strength. So I've got that over, fold it over. Now there's my line, and I don't want to lose my line. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark the front here so I don't lose it when I cover it. Once again, I'm folding it over. Now, as I'm folding it over, I'm making sure that I'm leaving a little teeny tiny bit of an edge here, and that's to make sure that there's no sticky flap over. And there you have it. That's going to make that nice and sturdy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this around, and remember I told you I measured, so I knew that this is exactly how big it needs to be for my head. So I'm just going to take it right here, fold it right there. I'm going to take a piece of tape, fold it to that point, take my tape, wrap it around the bottom there, and wrap it around here. Now, this is okay if this is thicker and has more layers, because again, this is going to be where it stays together, so you're going to want this to be nice and secure. So see, I have extra here. I'm going to add an extra piece. Once again, lay it on and wrap it around. Now, if you want to get really cute and really silly, you could take a puff ball, glue it right there. And so now that it's sized to my head, hopefully I've got it sized correctly, they just slip right on like a little crown, just like that. And now I'm ready to be Peter Cottontail. And if I had a basket of eggs, I could deliver them, but I have something better. I have my friend, Teddy, and he has his own matching set of ears. So Teddy and I are gonna go hopping along. For more Easter surprises, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com. Here comes Teddy Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail.